What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 here, bringing you another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. This show is going to be kind of serious. Not kinda, it is serious. Because there's an actor by the name of Braxton Wells making some allegations, and it seems like he does have some proof of some things happening. So we're going to go ahead and play the intro, let more people come in the room. Please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as always, and let's get to it, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 bringing you another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And shout out to all my AT2bers for being here. I appreciate y'all. What's up, Netta? What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Tanya? What's up, Foreign Bay? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Joy? What's up, Ola? What's up, Barbara? What's up? Okay, I think I got everybody. Yes, thank you. And thank you for calling me the Godfather. I appreciate that. You know, the people love to say, oh, you ain't no Godfather. No, I'm the Godfather. Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah, no problem. Shout out to Mims, too. So I had took down my video from earlier because basically I just gave a little recap and then posted his story talking about Braxton Wells. The reason being was two things why. One, because I thought he was saying that, trigger warning, I thought he was saying Tyler Perry and the vice president ran a train on him. No, Tyler Perry and his team was a part of the cover-up. And then two, because there's actually 9 parts and I only posted 6 parts. So I wanted to go ahead and do the full context. And I was like, you know what? Let me just do a live. That'll be better. That way we can talk and discuss. And put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to call in. I might do a call in, but I'm trying to make some barbecue chicken, so I don't know. But I'll let y'all know. All right. Oh, no, this got music. Okay. So this is Braxton Wells right here, right? Automatically, when I seen the stuff about, like Yeshua and Jesus and God, and, when people turn this, now I'm being judgmental. I do love the Lord, y'all. I want y'all to believe that I do love the Lord. But when I see people kind of make that flip and that change, it kind of makes me think like, okay, are you really making this change, or is this just kind of like a ploy or a plot? So it kind of gave me pause in a way. But then I was like, you know what? I need to just be open-minded to the situation. And I'm glad that I am, because again, I don't know for a fact. All I can go by is what I see here. But when I see the whole religion thing kind of being like pushed to the forefront, I'm kind of like, perfect example, Kanye. But we all know Kanye is a freak. However, he came out with a gospel album. He was doing that Sunday service. It seems like some of these people turn to God and make a mockery of it. That's just my perception. That's my perspective, not perception, perspective. But anyway, again, but I don't know Braxton, so I can't really tell you guys anything about him except from what we see here, right? So we go over here, and this is the NDA that he had posted. Let me blow it up. Thank you, Shawnee. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Kanye's the Antichrist. Damn. So this is so small that I can't even see it. But basically, this was the settlement. So settlement release and non-disclosure agreement. So what he's saying is that he signed the NDA to basically cover up the crimes by Tyler Perry Studios vice president, Mark E. I think it's Swinton. That's how you pronounce his name. And you know what? I didn't even show you guys. So in the thumbnail, I do have a picture of Mark. You can see there. But Mark definitely looked kind of like Tyler Perry-ish, if you catch my drift. So here he says, I was R-worded, groomed, and silenced. Now I'm exposing the cover-up. My name is Braxton DeMarco Wells. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I'm speaking up for every survivor who was told to stay quiet. What happened? In January 20, 2022, I was, oh wait, hold on, January 2022. I'm sorry, I don't know why I added a date to that. I was R-worded by Mark E Swinton, VP at Tyler Perry Studios, after being lured across state lines from California to Georgia under false pretenses involving my work at BET's The Oval. Now, he was featured on BET Oval for 2 episodes. I looked up the IMDb. I was a retired veteran with PTSD. They used my mental health trauma and status against me. But the R word was only the beginning. My civil attorney, Jeannie Harrison, pushed me into a secret NDA while the criminal case was still open. She never told me about my federal or military protection. She never filed a civil case, and she worked behind the scenes with Tyler Perry's defense. So later on, you will hear him talking about how a lot of the lawyers didn't want to take on the case because they didn't want to ruin their reputation. Because let's be honest, Tyler Perry is 1, powerful, and 2, he's well respected, right? So moving from that, it says the entire system failed me by design. This is federal crime, not and it's cut off right there. Something dispute, criminal investigation, and I guess that's the case number. Laws that protect me and void this NDA. So basically, as you guys know, if what he's saying is, if you have an NDA, right, and there were criminal charges, then the NDA is void. It's null and void, because basically, if there was a crime committed, as far as R word, blah 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 blah, all those horrible things that can happen to you that I can't say because of the algorithm, then yes, this is, yeah. And I forgot to show you guys, I am so sorry, but the NDA was dated in October. Hold on, let me go back to that. Okay, so he's just going more about the law in this post right here, right? The last one. So here, let me blow it up for you guys. One moment. Okay. So right here, it seems like something was signed 11/5/24, but it was dated for 10/31/2024, whatever this is. So if this is truly the NDA, and I'll just go by what it says, if this is truly the NDA, then yeah, this is what was signed basically for the cover up. Okay. So this post right here, he didn't post any context, but basically this was just showing his flight. This was basically him showing like he had a flight to Atlanta, and this is proving the trafficking that he's claiming, right? And you see the date of January 5th, 2022. And then that's his name right there, Braxton DeMarco. And then you see cash. So he was giving money. But again, this had no context, so we don't even know. But you don't get paid from a company through what do you call when you have an iPhone, you guys? Apple Pay. You don't get paid through a company through Apple Pay. This text message, my phone is 1%. Oh, really? Okay. Meet me at door S3 if your signal gives out. Walk into baggage claim now. Oh, okay. You're still in terminal, or you off escalator. Okay, I just stopped to charge my phone. I'm headed to you now. So you're still in the airport. So it's some kind of communication. Hey, Braxton, are you here? I'm here parked in the cell phone. So this is just showing the communication that he was picked up. I checked in, brother. I'm on the plane. Have a safe flight. I will be there to pick you up. Okay. So this is Mark. So you see Mark's name on top. This is Mark. Okay. It seemed like they have a good relationship because if you see, they call each other brother. So it's some kind of rapport, some kind of term of endearment. This is just me looking through the other lenses. Um, Again, I don't want to go over their all text messages and stuff like that. Oh, here's a video.
Oh! Oh!
Okay, but we don't see who's in the car though. Okay, and then here's another text. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mark. God is good, and I'm so happy I got to meet you and the rest of the crew. I wish so much success for Ruthless. Beautifully written and very excited to see the show. Take care and God bless you. And then it says, Braxton, you are a class act. We are so impressed with you, and I am a new fan of yours. This text is the ultimate show of class and virtue. I am going to find a part for you. I want to work with you and keep in touch with me. Okay, I'm down. I'm free on the 3rd. I'll definitely come hang out with you, brother. I miss hanging with you and Taylor. Misses you too. I appreciate you for real. I want to come. I want to come see your house. Laugh out loud. I know you want to come see Taylor. I want to see. Can I have one night? Laugh out loud. Yes, I want you to see the house, and I want to hear all of what you. And then let me see. Okay, that's actually it. Okay. Yeah. So how do we feel about those text messages so far? Um, UNLA. See, this is more stuff without any context. This is just like a back and forth. Oh shit, I liked it. Damn it, y'all. Okay, I'm not gonna take away the like because that's gonna look fake. Okay, and then this is more stuff about him stating him basically stating this case against Tyler Perry and the whole cover up thing. All right. So this one he does give context. He said, and this is Jonathan Delshad, the people suing Tyler Perry for 260 million. These people won't even help the survivors. It's just to help Derek Dixon, his case, and to testify in court. I gave him all my evidence and didn't even try to help. I need help from the people to get this information out and there because this is ridiculous. It's the entertainment business is outrageous. So basically, Derek Dixon, his lawyer reached out, and let me show my face. His lawyer reached out because you get witnesses and stuff like that, and other people who've been through the similar situation. You try to get them to testify. It's not called a character witness. That's not the right word. I'm using the wrong terminology, but basically, they reached out to him, and so Braxton was under the impression that, oh, you're going to take on my case too as well, like you're going to help me. But no, they just needed basically that support from you to show, like, hey, yeah, see, we got somebody else who's been through sexual harassment at Tyler Perry Studios, blah, 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 right? And you have to remember too something else. Remember in that lawsuit, it was something that was said towards the end that basically alluded like there's other people who've been victimized as well too. But it didn't list any names except Christian Keys. But again, we don't know Christian Keys' story because again, he won't tell us. But he more recently came out and said how they're trying to cut him out the show and all this other stuff, right? All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into part 1 of his testimony. Here we go, you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Ronnie. Yes.
I'm not about to hide anything with you guys. I'm not. And I'm not about to sit here and be afraid and be silenced by people knowingly they did me wrong. I'm calling out Tyler Perry Studios. I'm calling out Mark Swinton. I'm calling out Jeannie Harrison. I'm calling out Michael Robbins. I'm calling out Tyler Perry. And I'm calling out Mark Temple. And I'm calling out Chris Giovanni. I want you guys to know what you guys did to me was very unlawful. And me being a retired vet, U.S. Army vet, going through post traumatic stress disorder, going through mood, depressions, everything that I've claimed in my testimony, you all covered it up. You all covered up a felony crime of what Mark Swinton has done to me. I've asked for help from the California State Bar to complain to Jeannie Harrison because she didn't tell me my California rights as a U.S. Army veteran and a California LA resident. I'm sitting here looking on the news that this kid named Derek Dixon is getting unlimited jurisdiction, quit pro, as an LA resident, right? His incident happened in 2020 in Georgia in an employment place. He said he had a sexual harassment, and he was groped by Tyler Perry in Georgia as an employment place. But he's an LA resident. All right, y'all tracking what I'm saying? 2022, my incident. I get sexually assaulted and raped, drugged, blacked out. That's a felony crime. And it happened in Georgia as an LA resident. So if you guys don't know the laws in Georgia, this is what they put against me. They said I had 2 years of a statute of limitation. I got 5 months late. 2 years of statute.
Me, Melissa.
All right. I'm not about to hide anything with you guys. I'm not. And I'm not about to sit here and be afraid and be silenced by people knowingly they did me wrong. I'm calling out Tyler Perry Studios. I'm calling out Mark Swinton. I'm calling out Jeannie Harrison.
Sorry, it's playing
I'm calling
again.
out Michael Robbins.
Like I said, he did it in 9 parts instead of just making one full video.
So. 2 years of statute of limitation, right? Now, let's go back to Derek Dixon. 2020, same incident, but just a different, he has sexual harassment. That's way before statute of limitation, right? 2 years, right? That's what, 4, 5 years? And he gets a lawsuit with his attorney, Jonathan Delshad. Jonathan Delshad gets him a $260 million lawsuit. And it's all over TMZ, it's all over Fox, it's all over every news outlet that you can name of. Right? Every news outlet. But my civil attorney. Now let's go on a story how all this stuff happened to me ever since I came out with my first video. Right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. TP, I'm not afraid of none of y'all. I'm not afraid of none of your lawyers. I'm not even part of this business, entertainment business anymore. You're gonna get exposed. Me being with Yahweh Elohim, Yahshua the Messiah, I am covered. And I'm about to expose every demon that is literally possessing you right now. I met a guy who's my manager named Chris Giovanni. Now, I had an agent out in Atlanta. Her name is Joy Purvis. Everybody knows Jay Purvis, of course. You know, and I told her I was going to go to this guy named Chris Giovanni. And Joy told me, "Oh no, you shouldn't go to him. He's a bad guy. He's not going to be the right manager for you." So I'll say this: I meet Chris, I get signed. You know,
Quentin, that's a good question because he's saying that he wants this to be criminal charges. However, um, we don't know if he has a police report. That's one thing that has not been established because you need to go to police, one thing, but it seems like he's trying to get a civil lawsuit. But then that's mixed in. It seems like he's hating on Derek Dixon because he's all like, yeah, his lawyer didn't take me on and he's going to help him get 260 million, almost like he's jealous. Mind you, Derek Dixon more than likely, let me even go out on a whim and say this. There's a 99% chance in hell that he'll ever see 260 million. Let's be honest about that.
he wanted to have dinner. He wanted to meet up at Mama Shelter in Los Angeles. Mama Shelter is closed right now. It's closed down, but that's where me and him met up at, and we had a conversation. So I told him about my situation. Like, I was just telling him what I went through. And, I went through the whole Tyler Perry situation with Mark Swinton and what he did to me, paying me $6,000 to shut the hell up, to not ruin my career, his career, or anything like that. And,
So he says $6,000. Wow.
I told him about the situation I went through, me being sexually assaulted and raped. And he told me, he was like, oh, yeah, I had the same client that went through that, and all my clients who are on working with Tyler, you know, they're going through a lot of stress, and people are taking advantage of his clients. Even somebody, 2 years of statute of limitation,
Okay, next part.
right? Now let's go back to Derek. Oh yeah, I had the same client that went through that, and all my clients who are on working with Tyler, you know, they're going through a lot of stress, and people are taking advantage of his clients. Even somebody, a female lead right now, I think her name is Melissa, who's on Ruthless, is saying the same thing, that she's ready to leave Tyler Perry.
I hate when they put other people names that have not spoke out because you put them in a weird predicament. You know what I mean? I hate that. All right, let's continue.
Too, but that's another side of the story. I'm not even talking about that right now. He was the one that kind of orchestrated everything and told me, I think you need to report this. I think you need to say something, because I've been holding on for this for 2 years. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who to go to. Being an actor, as y'all all know, it's a hard situation to go through. This is your life. This is what you want. This is your career. This is your dream, right? This is all that you want. But then, you know, you got somebody that you trust, your manager, that's going to support you in this. And he's like, I'm gonna help you, but I need you to, when I do tip off this guy, and he's talking about Mark Temple, who's Tyler Perry's attorney. But yeah, but let's keep going. He tips Mark Temple's attorney and told him, hey, I have a client that's going through the situation. What you want me to do with this? So Mark Temple tips off Tyler. As I quote, Tyler was pissed, right? Tyler was pissed. And that's all I hear from, you know, Chris. And Chris was telling me, they're going to have a third party attorney that's going to contact you, and they're going to do, it's going to be normal. And they're going to ask you, hey, we've been hired for Tyler Perry Studios to do a employment place investigation. But, Tyler's going to know about all the information. He's going to know about what's happening, about all the accusations, right? Okay, so let's get to the nice things here. So Chris tells me, hey, just tell them that I try to send you an audition for Straw and this and that, and because I don't want to be having a conflict of interest because I have clients they're making about $100,000 each episode. I mean, well they're making their client his client is making 1 million, but he's making $100,000 on each client, and I'm pretty sure he has like he told me it was like three clients that he had on there. But anyway, that's like the moral of the story. But he told me to lie for him. That's red flag number one. He's been working for Tyler for what since he was 18. I think the guy's like 32 now. I'm not really good at math, but pretty sure that's what. Oh yeah, I had the same client that went through that, and all my clients who are on. He's been working for Tyler for what since he was 18. I think the guy's like 32 now. I'm not really good at math, but pretty sure that's what almost 13 years. I'm not really good at math, but that's a very long time. The guy knows the guy very well. So I'm going through the investigation, right, guys? Michael Robbins sends me a message. He has this other paralegal that's typing up all my stuff. Okay, she's listening to everything in my whole testimony. I tell her everything. I tell her everything what happens. I even got the testimony written out and everything. I literally have everything. So I'm over here trying to figure out, okay, should I get an attorney? I don't know what to do. This just doesn't seem right, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get an attorney. I let Chris know I want to get an attorney. The dude gets pissed off, talking about you don't need to get an attorney. You're just gonna cause problems and all this and blah blah blah. We can't have this happen. And I'm just like, well, I need to be protected because I don't know what these guys are gonna do. They're gonna manipulate me. These guys are very powerful. They're billionaires. They can do anything. I don't have shit. I ain't got money.
So he's already starting the precedence that hey, they were basically he was working from the inside, basically making sure that Tyler Perry and them were going to be able to convince Braxton of anything. But he knew that he needed some kind of legal representation. So he's already setting that precedence like, hey, all these guys, they all work together to protect each other.
Like them. I don't have shit. I don't got nothing like them. I'm just trying to take down the person who sexually assaulted and raped me. That's the person I'm trying to take down.
And I'm still here, y'all. Don't
but
worry.
Here, it gets even much better. While I'm looking for an attorney, I'm looking for entertainment lawyers to try to see who's connected in the business that can really help me out in this situation because I don't have anybody. I have a case, but everybody's not trying to take on my case because it's so political. People don't want to ruin their reputation. And I don't know why people don't. I just feel like it's just so stupid how this entertainment business runs. These people are sitting here like, oh, I'm not trying to mess up my political rep, if I take on the case like this, and then they're just ruining me. Who gives a shit, man? You got a person over here that's been sexually assaulted, and that's a felony crime. Let me say that again. That is a felony crime. Okay? Vulnerable, PTSD, 100% disabled veteran that is going through it. And to be honest with you, I'm federally protected. But I'll get better. I'll continue that story better on to my story when I'm trying to tell you. I'm looking for an entertainment lawyer. There's this guy named Doug Johnson. Doug Johnson, I don't know. I guess he deals with stuff like this with sexual assault. But he's like, this ain't my type of thing. But I think I know a woman that can really do this for you. So he introduced me to this lady named Jeannie Harrison. Jeannie Harrison, I guess she repped for.
Jeannie Harrison is the one that actually got him the settlement. So this is important right here.
For the Harvey Weinstein victims. And I don't know what happened in the Harvey Weinstein, and I've seen that he went to jail, he's been indicted and stuff like that. He's been working for Tyler for what since he was 18. I think the guy's like 32 now.
All right, next part.
So, but he's like, this ain't my type of thing. But I think I know a woman that can really do this for you. So he introduced me to this lady named Jeannie Harrison. Jeannie Harrison, I guess she repped for the Harvey Weinstein victims. And I don't know what happened in the Harvey Weinstein, and I've seen that he went to jail. He's been indicted.
Let me ask you guys real quick. Do you think that screw it, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I don't care who gets mad. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe his story. Put a 2 in the chat, you don't think he's telling the truth. And put a 3 in the chat, you're unsure. So 1, you believe he's telling the truth. 2, you think he's lying. And 3, you're unsure.
Stuff like that. But it sounds like it's good on paper, right? You know, she's got everything that you need, right? So let's continue. She takes on my case. I tell her from the beginning of the story, I tell her, listen, I had a lot of attorneys tell me in Georgia, because I don't know my rights, because I live in Los Angeles. I'm a resident at Los Angeles, but I went over there and traveled in an employment place and came back, right? So, you know, they're saying the statute of limitation is 2 years. And I told her this straight up. This was statute of limitation for 2 years. And I had several attorneys tell me that in Georgia. So I was like, well, they were telling me you're going to have to get a civil attorney in LA because you're a resident in LA. So I'm going here trying to figure out the situation. I'm telling her, she still takes on the case. But she says, hey, I'm about to go on vacation for a whole month, and I'll let you know when things are going good.
So he claimed that the situation happened in January 2022. So did he then try, because I'm just trying to figure out when is the date that he wanted to go ahead and try to sue? Because if we go back to the NDA, remember the NDA wasn't created until Halloween of 2024. So he must have waited until 2 years later, like after January 5th or whatnot, when the alleged incident happened.
I waited a month. Okay. I waited a month. No words. Nothing. I haven't heard from anyone. I haven't talked to anyone. I only talked to her paralegal. Paralegal's like, just keep sending us some of your doctor stuff and your medical documents. Now, as you know, guys, that's HIPAA Act. Giving out federal documents, what I'm going through in my medical procedures, and knowingly, I didn't know they were trying to keep a felony crime hidden. That is a felony crime, and that's federal. But I'll continue. I'm giving all my medical documents to an attorney that is representing me.
Well, if you give somebody permission for your records, that's not against HIPAA, you know, and especially if you're trying to prove that someone drugged you, like, you know, did you do one of the questions, and trigger warning, I'm just going to say the word rape kit. Did you do a rape kit?
Right? And she doesn't mention any of this stuff to them. Now, I know she's going to tell me, oh, I've said these things and blah, blah, blah. But why haven't you tell me my rights in Los Angeles? Why haven't you tell me I had unlimited jurisdiction in Los Angeles? Why you didn't tell me I had quid pro in Los Angeles?
Y'all hella mean.
Why was this case not seen by a judge, jury, or so? But he said, this ain't my type of thing. But I think I know a woman that can really do this for you. So he introduced me to this lady named Jeannie Harrison. Jeannie Harrison, I guess she repped for the Harvey Weinstein victim.
Oh, okay. And, let me go to the next part, you guys. Sorry.
I don't know what happened in the Harvey.
Okay, part 5.
Derek Dixon's case. Because I wanted criminal and I wanted civil. But she said it was impossible to do any of that because of the statute of limitations in Georgia. Oh, and I totally forgot.
Good point, River.
The third-party attorney, Michael Robbins, who was doing the investigation, she's been doing business with him for over 15 years, and they've done the same. They were working together in the same practice before for 15 years. They worked on the same cases together as a team. conflict of interest. A vulnerable victim that's been sexually assaulted and raped, mood disorder, PTSD, depression. Going through a lot. Going through a lot. And you took advantage of my medical documents. No Silence Act order in California as a resident. As a VA disability retired soldier, I cannot be silenced doing me having a disability. That's a federal crime. I can't be silenced or coerced or pressured to be into signing in anything without seeing a judge, a jury. And I was never told those rights. That's legal malpractice. I make a police report while I'm in Colombia to the Roswell police in September 25th when I came out with my first video. My first video. Before I even signed the NDA. And the NDA was signed in October 31st. Because I even told her I didn't trust her.
So he did confirm he did go to the police.
I didn't trust what they were doing. They were manipulating. I felt like I was being pressed. Even the third-party interviewer, Michael Robbins, he didn't even give us a conclusion on the case. He didn't even tell us who was at the wrong or anything. He didn't even give us any information. Tyler Perry knew everything. He kept all that information silent. Everything silent. He didn't let anyone know. But my attorney saying, hey, I got text messages of the lady telling me this. Derek Dixon's case, because I wanted criminal and I wanted civil. But she said it was impossible.
Well, that's the end of that right there. So before we get into part 7 through 9, so this is from September 25th, 2024. Now I'm wondering, is when he went to the police? Remember, he didn't trust the lawyer, so then he went to the police to file a police report. So I don't know how police reports go, but can you file a police report 2 years later afterwards? Especially if the statutes, if you're saying that the statutes of limitations have ran out, right? How do you do a police report then? Would he still be able to do a police report? That's what I'm a little skeptical about. So right here is a note. I know it's small for you guys, so you guys can't see it, so I'll read it to you. So it says, so the first time I met Mark E Swinton, I booked a 16 episode of Ruthless, playing the role of Belle with the help of Cindy Butler. I submit talent agency in Atlanta, Georgia. I was on a Zoom call with him and Ravon Drummer, letting me know how much they love my self-tape, and I did my self-tape at North Hollywood at Creation Studios. They booked me a first-class ticket from Los Angeles to Atlanta, Georgia. I had a driver waiting on me at Atlanta Airport to take me to the Intercontinental Hotel on November 6, 2019. So when it was time for me to come on set, November 7, 2019, they took pictures of me in wardrobe and a wig. And then when I was about to work, Mark Swinton calls me in his office, letting me know that they were sending me back home and letting me know I had a 17-year-old face, but I had a man's body. And I took it in as a professional, in a professional manner. And when I did, Mark said he was impressed in how I handled it well and said he will promise me a role in the future. Then 2 years later, we stayed in contact and he booked me for the role of cult member on the Oval on October 19, 2021. And Tyler Perry Studios flew me out from LAX to Atlanta November 1st, 2021. at 12:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Delta Airlines, and I landed in Atlanta at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had to Uber myself to the Intercontinental, and Mark, let me go to the next page, got me a COVID test so he could hang out with me. I didn't think anything of it because this guy was very powerful at Tyler Perry Studios. I was like honored he would want to hang out with me, and I was like someone that was coming up in the business. And he continues to text me and ask me where I'm at, and I was hanging with this girl named Taylor who I was having sexual relations with, and he would always ask me about her and asking me where I was at and what I'm doing. And I kept telling him that I was with Taylor at Sauce in Buckhead. Then he would say he may stop by and buy me a drink. And he did, bought me and a drink. And he got himself a drink and my girlfriend Taylor. And then me and him walked outside, and he was telling me about Tyler Perry does at his Bahamas Island with his male actors and female actors, and they all have sex with each other. Oh, Lord. They all have sex with each other. And kept repeating that to me when he flew me back out to Atlanta on January 6, 2022. Then November 4, 2021. Wait. And this is the confusing part because he keeps going back from 2021 to 20. All right, let me continue. Then November 4, 2021, 10:54 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, he would ask me how did my performance go on set. And I said, Tyler said I did incredible job. And then text me at November 4, 2021, 11:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You have plans tonight? You can hang at my crib tonight, and you can keep your original flight back. And I thought it was crazy. He would want me to hang at his crib, and I'm just an actor. I thought I was building a great relationship with someone that could change my career. And then January 5th, 2022, at 10:47 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Mark texts me wanted to see me again and asking my name and date of birth and booked me a flight back to Atlanta on January 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Delta Airlines. Was asking what kind of liquor I like, and I said Don Julio 1942, and picking at steakhouse he think I would like. Picking a steakhouse he think I would like. And then text him, I landed at Atlanta at 7:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let him know he is at S3 terminal, and letting me know he is parked at the cell phone lot, and drive around to pick me up at arrivals. And I saw him in his Mercedes G-Wagon, and he told me we're headed to a Marcel Steakhouse. While we are driving, Tyler Perry calls him and telling me to be quiet, and he has him on speaker, basically saying things about other actors and calling them annoying and bad-mouthing other crew members. Then we get to Marcel Steakhouse on Buckhead and told me I can get anything I want, and he orders me Don Julio 1942. While I'm drinking my first drink, he orders me more drinks, and I ordered 3 drinks straight on the rocks, and I was already drunk at this point. And then I'm talking about my career, but he didn't seem interested in that. He kept telling me how handsome I am. And then when we leave the restaurant, he takes me back to his crib and showing me his $250,000 painting he has in his house and his big aquarium. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm in his house. All right, next slide. And he asked me, he had a Don Julio 1942 bottle for me at his bar near his movie theater, and he made me my drink for me I was drinking with him, and then I started feeling weird at this point already when I had another drink because we went in his movie theater and we were watching a movie, and I don't remember half of the things he was talking about. All I remember, he took me upstairs up in his room, and he had another room and watching another movie and gave me another drink and felt extra unbalanced, and I was not coherent and I couldn't fight anyone. I felt tranquilized, and I know he put something in my drink. And he started to try to kiss my neck and kiss me. And I told him to stop. And he told me, "No, it's okay. I got you. Don't worry. Come in my room." I couldn't move at all. I felt like my whole body was paralyzed. And then he started taking my clothes off and turned me around. And I couldn't move and started putting Vaseline on my anus area and trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Sorry, guys, I didn't proofread this first. And started putting Vaseline on my anus area and started driving his penis in my anus, and I couldn't move and I couldn't get him off of me. And it started hurting, and I backed out, and I don't remember what else he did to me after that. And I woke up the next morning, and he told me he sent me 6,000. So those are the payments that you guys see, the 3,000 from the Apple Pay, on Apple Pay, to keep quiet about everything. And I was lost for words, and I was extremely mad and embarrassed. I told him I need to take a shower, and I noticed I was wiping myself in the shower, and I had Vaseline on me, and blood, trigger warning, mixed together on the washcloth. So this is what he is claiming that happened to him that night. There's more, but I kind of just wanted to take a break just because, like, I'm like a lot to digest. A lot. A lot to digest. All right. And I was breaking down crying in the shower, and I didn't know what to do. I came to the realization that I was raped by Mark E Swinton, and I was afraid to speak up about the situation for 2 years because I thought I was going to be blackballed in Hollywood. I left his crib and I got me a hotel in Buckhead, and going through this dramatic experience, it made my PTSD worse, and my mental health and it was worse since I'm a retired veteran in the Army, and I've been thinking about harming himself all this time. I couldn't live life the way I wanted to. I was basically homeless, and I was house hopping. I kept in contact with Mark and stay on his good side because I was scared. Mark could ruin my acting career, and I was tried to make and I tried to make happy, but I wanted to report him for so long. But I seen a psychiatrist at the VA to talk to someone, but I told him I was not happy and I couldn't live my life accordingly. And the VA kept changing my doctor every 6 months, and I never had the same one. But I don't have the funds to afford for a civilian doctor. I was living off the VA. I thought I would lose my family speaking up about all of this, but they had my back all the way. But I can't live through this burden. It was eating me alive, and I want justice for my mental health that Mark E. Swinton has caused me. And I want all victims to speak up for all the things he has done. And that's Tyler Perry's right hand man. And I want Tyler Perry's right hand man. Wait, hold on. And and I want justice for emotional distress and mental illness and harming himself thoughts he has caused me. My life has not been the same ever since this incident happened. I wanted to die and just let myself be with God. That was a lot. That was a lot. So this is what he claimed that happened that night, you guys. And this is the next slide here.
Derek Dixon's case? Because I
Oh,
went criminal.
I went backwards. So this is what he's saying who the defendants are. Legal. So he got Jeannie in there, his lawyer, legal malpractice, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. He got Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry Studio, negligent retention, enabling a predator. Then Michael Robbins, conflict of interest, suppression, and then of course on top is Mark E Swinton for what he did. And then this is when he reached out to the California State Bar about the situation, and they told him that he needed to get a lawyer in Georgia. Oh no! It wasn't that. It was that the situation happened. Well, let me just read it for you. It says, "My name is DeMarco Wells." Let me blow it up real quick. My name is Braxton DeMarco Wells, a retired and 100% disabled U.S. Army veteran, and I'm formally demanding expedited review and action regarding case, and that's the case number filed with the State Bar of California. The case involves attorney Jeannie Harrison, who I believe is guilty of legal malpractice, conflict of interest, and conspiracy to obstruct justice in connection with Tyler Perry Studios and their legal counsel. This is not just a civil issue. It is tied to a criminal rape case in Georgia with a pending investigation under Detective McGinnis of the Roswell Police Department. Case number. Detective McGinnis can be reached at, and there's the phone number. Jenny Harrison's office is in collusion with Michael Robinson, a third-party employment investigator retained by Tyler Perry, knowingly suppressed critical evidence, encouraged silence, and pushed an unfair settlement that was never seen by a judge, jury, or even a mediation. The agreement was constructed under duress and void unlimited jurisdiction, a right I was legally entitled to under the California law, and then all that. The opposing legal teams exploited Georgia law despite my legal residency in California at the time of the assault, thus robbing me the due process under a California Civil Code, legal malpractice laws, and veterans' rights protection. This situation represents a dangerous and unlawful attempt to, one, cover up a felony level sexual assault against a U.S. veteran, shield a multi-million-dollar studio from public accountability, leverage NDA intimidation to silence a victim, and lastly, delay or deny legal justice through collusion and legal manipulation. And then he talks about the violations. Despite this serious matter, I have received no communication I have received no communication about an assigned investigator since my filing on June 26, 2025. This delay is unacceptable under mandated response guidelines for legal malpractice and veteran protection. I am demanding immediate assignment of a state bar investigator to this case, two, a federal investigator into the conduct of the involved attorneys and studio representatives, three, accountability for all parties who participated in suppressing evidence and bypassing legal due process. 4, recognition of my status as a protected federal veteran with rights to expedited and fair legal handling. All right. So then there's another post. So this is Gloria Allred. This says, they don't care about justice. They care about money, fame, and their image in the system. I reached out to Gloria Allred's firm, one of the most famous women's rights lawyers in the world, after I was raped and manipulated, silenced, and betrayed by my own civil attorney. I'm a disabled veteran. Okay, it's all fake. But I'm trying to see, but what did she? Allred has the time to fight for famous clients on Netflix, but not for rape, a victim and veteran who's right. Okay, so basically, it seemed like he's mad that Gloria Allred didn't take on his case. Oh, and here's a letter. Dear Braxton Wells, thank you for contacting our firm regarding your legal matter. Unfortunately, due to the office's present caseload and trial. Okay. So basically, it was too much on their plate and they couldn't take it on. But that doesn't mean that Gloria doesn't care. Like, you know, you should have went to Lisa Bloom, her daughter, right? And this right here, what is he saying right here? You think SAG AFTA helped me out too? I don't think so. I'm a union member with them and I'm supposed to have protection. And even the lady in Georgia who is the president of SAG AFTA was protecting Tyler Perry. You guys think it is a game, but it's not. All actors, you are being used as puppet slaves to the business, but don't worry. Yahweh Elam. How do you say the last Elohim is going to tear all this down completely using my vessel? Okay, so basically he wants to go after the system and he's going to use God to do so. And then this is their letter back. Power individuals through the understanding of their rights, avenues, resolution. But does it say like they refused it? All right, let's go ahead and get into parts 7 through 9 now. You guys ready?
He's saying, hey, I got text messages of the lady telling me this. Stay away from the police. Keep your status quo. Delete the post. They can sue you for defamation. But they want you to take it down so they can still pay you.
Right, addicted.
Okay, so let's go back. I got a 2-year statute of limitation, they said. I don't have a case, right? I don't have a case. So if you got a 2-year statute of limitation in civil in Georgia, you have no case. We ain't paying shit. We can fight you in court, right? But they said no.
Allah him.
We still want to pay him. We still want to negotiate. My attorney still didn't tell me my rights. I was still never told my rights. I was manipulated. I was coerced to sign something that I didn't want to sign. They had me in an increment payment. They settled. My attorney has settled with me with $500,000, and she took $201,000 from me and leaving me with $298,000.
Damn, she took half of it. Or nearly half of it. I'm sorry.
$260 million that Derek Dixon is requesting.
See, here we go. He's bringing up Derek Dixon again. So, again, I guess technically we can't say that nothing happened because he did get a settlement, right? We can't say nothing happened. It seems that his issue now is that he's mad that Derek Dixon went for more and that he didn't go for more. He's upset that he didn't go for more money. That's what I'm understanding. That's what he's upset about, that he didn't get more money.
And he's doing criminal and civil. And you tell me I wasn't manipulated. I wasn't shut out, silenced. I was pressured to sign that contract. They tell me to delete the post because I was gaining traction. Because they would get too much attention. They knew the situation I was going through. It was wrong.
Hey, Sparkle.
Tyler Perry signed a contract knowing that he said, I deny every allegation. Him and Mark Swinton. And he kept the person in that very office that did a felony crime and sexual assault and rape. Me having me saying, "Hey, I got text messages of the lady telling me this. Stay away from the police. Keep your status quo.
What you
Delete
say,
the post.
River?
They can sue you for defamation."
River, what the hell? I need you to go pray right now, River. Please go pray. Thank you.
But they want you to take it down so they can still pay you. Okay, so let's go back. I got a 2-year statute of limitation. They said I don't have a case, right? I don't have a case. So if you got a 2-year statute of limitation in civil in Georgia, you have no case. We ain't paying shit. We can fight you in court, right? But they said no. We still want to pay him. We still want to negotiate. My attorney still didn't tell me my rights. Um, I was still never told my rights. I was manipulated. I was coerced to sign something that I didn't want to sign. They had me in an increment payment.
Okay, let me
They,
go to the next part. I hate to, diminish the crime that happened, but this just sounds like, okay, so you're just salty because you seen that possibly you could have got more money, but you chose to settle for less. That's what it seems like. You chose to settle for less, but you wanted more money. But then you're trying to say that the lawyer, like, at the time before you signed it, like, you didn't ask all those questions. Like, him saying that the lady, Jeannie, was working with Tyler Perry's studio, I'm not taking that. I mean, I'm not taking that away from him. That's what I mean to say. I'm not taking that away from him, right? That lady could have been working with Tyler Perry, but you would at least then hey, I don't think this is a like. Even if you don't know all your legal rights and stuff like that, you would at least say hey, I don't think we should be doing that. Like, it seems like now you're having buyer's remorse. That's how I feel. Like, you're having buyer's remorse. Except he didn't buy nothing. He more or less got something. All right, let's go to the next one.
Me having me getting diagnosed, working on getting I was getting diagnosed with Stockholm syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm syndrome is, I would advise you to look that up. I had every medical documents proving that, but my civil attorney ignored it. I'm gonna just say this. I don't need no help from no man, no woman, no politician, no lawyer, no law enforcement. I don't need no help. I just need a fair trial. I'll represent my damn self. Yahweh will represent me. I don't need no lawyers. I don't need because all I asked was for some help. All I asked for help. But you know what? That's what the devil does. Keeps tearing you down, feel like you ain't got nobody. But the only person with me is Joshua the Messiah and Yahweh Elohim, my Father, Father in heaven. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Tyler Perry, Mark E Swinton, Jeannie Harrison, Michael Robbins, Chris Giovanni, everybody that was part of this glorious, glorious manipulation. I'm going to get every single last one of you because I know you guys don't want to go to court with me. I dare you to go to court with me. I dare you. You can't even take nothing from me because everything is going to be voided in court. Everything is going to be void. The judge is going to ask you, why was this not being seen by any judge? That's a person that is going through PTSD and having all these medical problems and medical issues, and this was never presented by my attorney. This was legal malpractice. So I want you guys I want you to give me all the paperwork you want to have me subpoena in court. I will be gladly to present all these evidence to the courtroom and to the judge and show how much of a manipulation that you guys done to a U.S. Army veteran that has served this country. Me having me getting diagnosed, working on getting like I was getting diagnosed with Stockholm syndrome.
Right, and that's the legal definition. You're right about that, TT, because my thing is like, so because for me, it would be hard for him to prove that this lady tried to screw him over or basically didn't tell him all his rights. Because would there be evidence of that as far as like, some kind of email communication or text message that would show that?
If you don't know what Stockholm syndrome is, I would advise you
Not
to
call
look that up. I had every medical document proving that, but my civil attorney ignored it. I'm gonna just say this. I don't need no help from no man, no woman, no politician, no lawyer, no law enforcement. I don't need no help. I just need a fair trial. I'll represent my damn self. Yahweh would represent me. I don't need
Okay, I
no
think it's
lawyers. I
repeating.
don't
Okay. 9.
need issues, and this was never presented by my attorney. This was legal malpractice. So I want you guys I want you to give me all the paperwork you want to have me subpoena in court. I will be gladly to present all these evidence to the courtroom and to the judge and show how much of a manipulation that you guys done to a U.S. Army veteran that has served this country, has done everything to do for this country, and you treat me like this. Don't worry. This is just the beginning. And I'm gonna get every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. You, Mr. TP, you, Mr. Swinton, you, Miss Jeannie Harrison, you, Michael Robbins, and you, Chris Giovanni. Yahweh is watching all of y'all. And then he already know what you guys did. You can't hide from him. But I promise you, I'm gonna get a fair trial. I even talked to Derek Dixon's attorney. He wants me to come and I give him all my evidence. He wants me to come and, you know, come testify in court. You want me to come testify in court? I gave you all my evidence and you couldn't even help me? Oh, I got a lot of workload with Derek. We gotta take down Tyler. Well, all right, Mr. Jonathan Delshad. Let's take down Tyler. issues, and this was never presented by my attorney. This was legal
All right,
malpractice.
so that's the end of that. And then he had another post. He said, to Tyler Perry and Mark E Swinton, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Isaiah 8:20. I speak today not just for myself, but for every soul silenced by power, fame, and fear. Mark Swinton, you groomed and raped me while I was under your influence, flying me from Los Angeles to Georgia under false pretenses. You abuse your position as vice president of Tyler Perry Studios, a company that claims to stand for faith to commit unspeakable evil behind closed doors. Tyler Perry, dang, I skipped too far. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Tyler Perry, you built your empire on the image of God-fearing and of God-fearing man. Yet, when darkness crept and through your own executive, you chose silence. You retained a predator in your house and helped cover it up. Excuse me, protecting your brand over broken human. That's not faith. That's fraud. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I keep. Okay, now I lost my place where I was. I'm just going to continue. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hidden that shall not be known. Luke 12:2. I cried for help. You turned your back, and Yeshua, the Messiah, was also betrayed, mocked, and crucified. And just like him, I will rise, not for fame, but for justice. I am formally declaring in front of you, Yahweh and the public. I will no longer be silent. Your system tried to enslave me. Your lawyers tried to scare me, but my spirit of Yahweh has set me free. And then another quote from Romans: I have proof. I have the truth. I have the light. Okay. And then you see he tagged Hollywood Unlocked, Derek. Oh, I didn't even know Derek Dixon had his own Instagram. To be fair, I didn't look him up. Okay, so now this one was his post that he had made. This is the post that they made him take down after he came out with, after he signed the NDA. That was one of the agreements. He had to take it down. So it said, just for the people know, I came out about this situation way before Derek Dixon. They told me to take down the video, threatened me, and even my own lawyer threatened me while I was trying to go to law enforcement. I post everything on my page for people to read, not to glance. So it says vulnerable moment for me, but I'll continue to keep saying I got my power back from the grace of God. Okay, and then basically this right here is just stating that he said that Mark E Swinton sexually assaulted him. And then, okay, that's it. He's basically repeating again in that statement, so I'm not going to read that. All right. So how do we feel about this situation, you guys? Do we think that there was some malpractice going on? He was basically screwed over. Is he having remorse for him taking a deal and then finding out that Derek Dixon could possibly be getting more? Mind you, I talked about Derek Dixon not getting the $260 million. Derek Dixon possibly could get nothing. He could possibly get nothing. I'm gonna say this because it's my show and I don't care. I feel like with a lot of these situations, I feel like they're having remorse for the shit that happened. And granted, am I excusing Tyler Perry or in this case, even the VP? No, I'm not excusing them. I think what literally goes on, because if you watch Tyler Perry shows and his movies, they typecast the guys that they like. And mind you, the actors don't even have to have talent. I'm gonna just say that shit. most of the time, the actors don't have any fucking talent, but they have a certain look and a certain way about them. So Tyler Perry is hiring them. If you look at Tyler Perry movies and his shows, like there's a lot of sex and it's a lot focused on the men. And I didn't realize that until somebody pointed that out to me the other day. And I was like, you know what? You are right about that. A lot of it is like focused on the men all the time. And it's like Tyler Perry is, casting certain guys with a certain look because this is what he likes. He's putting certain scripts and making the guys do things because that's what he likes. And basically everything that Tyler Perry is producing is him living out his freaky fantasy to the world. And you have two type of guys. You have three. You have ones that keep it professional, and that's what kind of relationship they have, a professional one. Then you have the other guys that are looking and willing to do anything for an opportunity. And then the third is the guys that were either tricked or got themselves into a situation and now, they have regret. With Braxton, and again, he did get a settlement, right? But a settlement doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty. And how we see that is that we know from Cassie's situation, Cassie did get a settlement, but Diddy was only guilty of prostitution. So this could be a situation where there was a inappropriate moment that happened, but we don't know the other side of the story, right? We don't know the full scope of the story. But obviously, there's some kind of not guilt, not admittance. I don't think admittance is a word. Is admittance a word? Is admittance a word? Admittance. But there's something that happened, and that's why they thought they should go ahead and pay it. Because if it was something where they thought they could fight it and get rid of it, they would have fought it. But what's interesting about this is that this was in 2024. Christian Key's video came out in 2023. Christian Key's, and it still does seem that, and we don't know this for a fact, it does seem that Christian Key's took some kind of money. I don't care what you guys say. Oh, he never said Tyler Perry name. Nigga, who else was he talking about? Anyway, so it seemed like he took some kind of money or something like that, right? And even with Christian Key's, he came out with a video a couple of weeks ago saying how they're trying to screw him over in the show. And so it's all like, okay, even he's kind of having some kind of regret or remorse and kind of like, okay, well, he's still effing with me and he's still doing things to me. Now I want to say something, but he might have signed an NDA or something like that. And so as far as what's his name? Braxton, the actor that we're talking about now. Braxton seems as if he was trying to reach out to like the high-powered attorneys like Gloria Allred. Like, I feel like if you have a real situation, you shouldn't go to those kind of lawyers. I'll be honest, the Lisa Blooms, Tyrone Blackburn, Tony Busby, if I had a serious issue, I would never go to one of those kind of lawyers. Those seem like ambulance chaser lawyers. And we know this through the history of the shit that they have done, right? So I don't know if he was making this video just because it's a few things how I feel about this. One, I don't know if this is just a cry for help. Two, I'm confused about what the solution is and how we go about it. And 3, is this about Derek possibly getting a bigger sum of money, and now you're kind of like, oh well, shit. Now I'm not gonna get. I only took 500, but now we know that he only got 2 something because the lawyer took a big chunk of that settlement. Because you're okay. Because what it seems like is, okay, well, now that I look at this case, this new case, now I want to make sure that I can, get my cut. And now I want to make sure that it is civil and criminal and blah, blah, blah. But again, the case with Derek Dixon, that's not a criminal case. That's a civil case. I could be wrong. I have to look at that lawsuit again, but I believe that was civil, right? Cover the addicted. What's wrong with you? Melissa, Tony Busby is an ambulance chaser. He definitely is. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Do we have to bring up the 13-year-old girl? That whole lie? Just because he can get a settlement doesn't mean anything. And if the last settlement, or if you're talking about the Travis Scott, Astral World settlement, mind you, he said he had 120 victims. Only one of them actually got a settlement. And if you're talking about Deshaun Watson, he basically could not play. So he hurried up and settled with all those 22 people. So that actually never went to, trial. Dixon case is only civil. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if he was ill-advised, does that still mean that that's malpractice? And then, okay, even with the NDA, if he's saying that a crime was committed, then that NDA is out the window. Has he now went and filed another police report? That's what I'm confused about. Like, after all of this, what have you then done? What's up, Larry? I haven't seen you since 1982. You say he shouldn't have signed the paperwork, and him being in the military should have had him more aware. I was thinking this too. I have to ask my uncle about it, but one of the benefits, don't you get help with legal? Do we have any vets in the chat? I believe you get help with legal, right? Like, how come he didn't go through the VA? Okay, they do. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, Kiki said, I'm a vet, and no, you don't. Mm. No, my dad is retired 30 years. Okay. And thank you for your service, you guys, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't say that. Sorry. Not to represent you in court. Maybe not a lawyer, but like services to like point you in the right way, if that makes sense. Nope, ill-advised just means that you didn't get a second opinion. Chat GBT is free too. Barry Mary, you a trip. Well, my boyfriend signed up for a program and they gave him a lawyer. Okay. Oh, Princess, if you don't mind saying, was it like something work related? Because any of us, if there's something that happened at your job, there are free resources as far as the labor board. So if it's that, then yeah, you can get a free service for that. But if it's not that, if you don't want to share, you don't have to say the reason. A public defender. Oh, a public defender. Okay. Usually wills and family court stuff. Okay, so it's like stuff like that. It's not regarding like a civil or criminal case. Oh, thank you, Keisha. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, okay. I did give Tony Busby, I did give him his credit. He got that defamation case thrown out with Jay-Z, but I'm still hoping Jay-Z refiles on that motherfucker. Get him, Jay-Z. Get him. Get him, Jay. Right. And can we just talk about how the vets do come back and like, man, that's going to take this show into a whole nother. Y'all know what I mean. They definitely should be getting more and more well. There shouldn't be homeless vets. Why is that a thing? There should not be homeless vets at all. So Tyler Perry, basically, he alluded to Tyler Perry helped cover up the crime and stuff like that. So Tyler Perry, his whole team and everything, and because Mark is his VP, they're all a part of it. Collusion. Yes, collusion, basically. That's what it is, collusion. Thank you. You guys agree with me. Yeah, there should never be homeless vets at all. New Jersey, only fee lawyers, low income amount and very low, mind you. Yeah. And again, maybe he felt like it was his only option, right? And say if it is his only option, he brings up the amount that he got. So even with him bringing up the amount that he got, it seems that he has remorse over that him taking the NDA. Him doing the NDA and getting a lesser amount. Because say if he got 5 million. And mind you, I hate having this conversation because I don't want to put a price tag on SA. I never want to put a price tag. Your body is worth a lot. I can't tell. Listen, I can tell you it ain't worth 260 million. I can tell you that. But it feels like he's like, no, my body, my dignity, my mental health is worth way more. And now I want more money. Because if the amount was larger, would he be complaining? And I think also something else too that I'm going to point out, and I don't mind being the bad guy. You guys can call me the bad guy. I don't mind. Something else that I want to point out, he's talking now within the last 24 hours. He's talking now, but the settlement was back on Halloween of last year. But you're talking now after Derek Dixon has came out with his lawsuit. Which I don't know, maybe talking to Derek Dixon and his lawyer, maybe he found out like, oh no, maybe I can. And so now he's all like, okay, well, take my case. But Derek Dixon's lawyer doesn't want to take on the case. And so now he's trying to scramble around, trying to find somebody to take his case. My only work, and trust me, if he feels that he was cheated and that he does need to take this legal again, then I'm all for that, right? But I just don't know what the other side has against him. And this is kind of going back to Cassie and, Jane Doe. We didn't know what the defense had against them until the trial was already going on. Because a lot of us were convinced that Diddy was done for, right? But we didn't know that his defense team is so strong. Now, I don't know who Tyler Perry lawyers are, but I know there's probably some bad motherfuckers. So no telling, because even with the Derek Dixon lawsuit, right? I looked at the Derek Dixon lawsuit and I was all like, it seemed like Tyler Perry was trying to help this man through his own mental health, and like there's some kind of traumatic experience that happened in his childhood. And it seemed like Tyler Perry was trying to help him. More or less, Tyler Perry trying to, get him into bed and stuff like that. Like it just seemed like there was so much missing in context. Because even Tyler Perry was like, oh, you need a like something that was inappropriate, but necessarily Tyler wasn't saying like, oh, let me take you to bed. He said, you need to go out there and just fuck. Remember that? But it seemed like he was encouraging, like, hey, you need to get out there. Hell, my ass is single and lonely. Y'all tell me I need to get out there and go fuck. So, but that doesn't mean that you want to fuck me. But y'all tell me with my lonely ass that I need to go out there and fuck. So, and listen, we all adults right now. We just being honest, right? Y'all tell me that I need to go out there and fuck. So I'm not like, oh, ew, that's inappropriate. Like, no. If we cool like that, we can have that rapport in that conversation. Oh, shut up. Don't laugh. It ain't that goddamn funny. Shit. Gary said, I never said that to you. I never said that. Not all of you. Some of you have said that. Anybody remember that episode of the game when dude said, I want when they were playing, I'ma put you to bed, 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 I'ma put you to bed, bed. He was like, Malik, I want to put you to bed. Yo! I gotta tell my stepsister about this, princess. Yo, that is true. I thought you and Maddie would hit it off. Maddie? Oh, you mean Maggie? No. Name me a price. Tyler wanted that. Yeah, I don't want to think. You know how some people you just want to imagine that they asexual, like they don't have sex at all. Like that's what I want to imagine about Tyler Perry. Like I don't like how y'all be doing Auntie Tyler. I don't like that. Leave Auntie Tyler alone, y'all. But this kind of there's a video that I'm gonna release soon, and I think I need to do it tonight. I just need somebody to send me the person to send me that video. But basically, how I feel is that I'm gonna end the show right here because I'm not gonna have y'all drag me and shit like that. Y'all can drag me in the comments. I don't want to see it in the live chat. Okay. Regarding somebody's sexuality, does it matter? Do people need to come out and out themselves? No. No, they don't. I don't believe that. And especially if you're single, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, right? But I do feel that if Tyler Perry does come out, I feel like a lot of this shit would end. I feel that the reason why a lot of these guys feel like they have something over Tyler Perry is because they know they're keeping his secret. So with that being said, they're able to manipulate him, try to extort him for money. They're able to do these things. But if Tyler Perry was out in the open, guarantee you all this shit would be over with. He has a fantasy of the muscle, light-skinned dude. And like I said, I think a lot of gay men, they like that masculinity. And so the straight man is masculine, and so they're attracted to that. And so Tyler Perry is attracted to that masculinity. And so this is why he goes after those kind of guys and stuff like that. So I think that plays a large role into what he likes. And yeah, just yeah. That's called. Oh, is that what Trey? Did y'all hear like when Charlemagne said he was Trey? I'm like, I don't even know. No, Charlemagne is definitely, as they say, one of the girls. Yeah, but that's how I feel about Tyler Perry. Like, go ahead, settle this publicly, and then that way it can be all top. Or just get you somebody for you. Oh, Derek ain't. I see. I don't know what Derek sounds like. I looked him up on YouTube, but I couldn't like find anything where I could like hear his voice or anything like that. Let me see if I can find something like a Derek Dixon interview. Hold on, y'all got a minute, or y'all want me to leave? Put a 1 in the chat. You want me to stay? Put the 2 in the chat. You want me to leave? Dang, it's everything about his lawsuit. Let me see interview. Because one thing I noticed was that River who said that? Yeah. River. It never mentioned his sexuality. That's what I'm thinking. I'm all because when I looked at that Dixon law, I was like, him and Tyler Perry had something going on, and I believe it was consensual. Because why did he put his sexuality like I'm a straight man and he was coming out? Like, I feel like that's important to know. Okay, Derek Dixon interview. Dang. Oh, hold on. Here's a bit. No, backfires. Dang. See, everything about Derek Dixon is about the lawsuit. Derek Dixon acting. Let me see acting. Oh, Derek Dixon acting real. Okay, here we go. We might take this video down, but let me.
What? Are you kidding me? I mean,
why is it so low?
Why? Then what is all this?
This is me being sick and tired of all this shit. Okay? Do you know how fed up I am with this? This has nothing to do with you.
On.
All right? Yeah, I got a lot going on here.
Yeah, but this I think you would want to know.
We've been through this. You can't tell me over the phone.
No, this I could tell you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. What?
Okay. So, you know the butler, Richard, right? He stabbed his father and killed him right in front of me last night.
Okay, folks, another dumb moment.
You know what? I'll just take the other one.
That wasn't a lot, but I will say, yeah, it don't. Yeah, River, you right. They don't give mass for mass. Yeah, it does. What would it? What if it's not mass? What? Oh, film. Yeah, it's giving film for film. All right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the show right here. What's up, Miss Barbara? Thank you for being here. Shout out to all the films out there. But we're gonna go ahead and end the show right there. Please let me know what you think about this situation with Braxton Wells, as far as Derek Dixon, how this ties in with that. Do you think that there's some kind of remorse or something like that? Or do you think that he actually does have a case? There was some malpractice going on and that he needs to get, well, one, criminally, he needs to get justice. And two, he needs a little bit of more money because he only got $500,000. And now he's looking at Derek Dixon like, you getting $260 million? I need more money. I can go either way with this. I really can. Like, I can see all points aside. I can see all those points. Oh, is that the problem? A butch queen. Shout out to all the butch queens out there. Only on my show we talk about crazy stuff like this, right? I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Love y'all. We out. Deuces, everybody.